we are going to be making
Dost thou
a
require
wild
new
magic
ally?
barbarian
As thou desire.
that is also taking a 5 level at least warlock dip. So the reason for this is wild magic barbarians use charisma for their spellcasting modifier for their saves. Now, I want medium armor proficiency and shield proficiency. I'm not going to use a shield necessarily on this build, but I want medium armor. If you're going the cloth route with the cloth route with this build, you could potentially start warlock. You can start whatever you want. This build doesn't come online until about level 8. At level 10, you're at almost full power. But what I like about it is, if you get bored, you can respec from Barb to Warlock and keep working into the build. So, we're going to start as a Barbarian. If you're just starting out, just start out as a Barbarian, put a bunch of points into Strength, Dex, Con, a little bit of Charisma, sure, and get to level 5 or 6, 7 or 8, just play the game. If you want to start as a Warlock, you can start as a Warlock and feel free to throw extra levels in, but I'll explain everything as I go and then you can mix and match. I'm going to start as a Barbarian anyway. It's going to be a weird Barbarian, but right now, consider us level 8. You can do this at level 8. So I want the +2 to be in Charisma, and I'll take the +1 in Constitution or... yeah, I'll say Constitution. Because I'm going to be wearing... yes, I will do it like this. And then I have a couple extra points here. Potential thing to do here is take 15 dex, leave that, go ability score improvement 1-1, ability score improvement 2. You're only going to get 2 feats on this build. It's one of the downsides. But I like to be able to carry more stuff, so I'm going to do something a little different. Plus, I'll only ever be wearing dex armor that lets me add +2 to my AC, so my dex only needs to be 14. It's good for saves, but anyway. And quality of life. Survival is very important. Perceptions is pretty important too. I'm going to zoom through these. Oh. There we go. Race-wise, you can go Githyanki, you can go half-orc, you can go anything you want. I like half-orc for relentless endurance. I like Githyanki for quality of life, and they get everything. But there we go Wild Magic Barbarian. Remember, we're level 8 right now. We're going to at least level 5 in Barbarian. I'll explain why at least in a minute. So, I did this a particular way. Now, you could potentially take Performer, gain musical instrument proficiency, and increase your charisma by 1. Additionally, you can go Resilient, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Resilient, and then this will increase my charisma saving throws by my proficiency modifier. So now my charisma is 18. Additionally, you can take the Hag deal. Bump your charisma to 19 with their first ability score improvement. Take the Hag deal, and then boom, you're at 20 charisma, which is probably the better way to do it. But this is what we want. We get extra attack, fast movement. So now we can zoom while not wearing heavy armor. And we have an extra attack. Now, we're going to add class. Warlock. We want Eldritch Blast, Blade Ward, whatever your flavor here is here. I like Blade Ward. I want to check something. Okay, so this is another thing, whatever your flavor is. You could potentially pick up Sleep. This is probably if you're starting out. You want to do this, that's fine. You're not really going to be using Fey Presence that often. Mortal Reminder's pretty good. If you land a crit, which you could crit horror with this build easily enough, you'll be recklessly tackling a lot. It'll have a chance to frighten things. I like the Fiend because you get access to Fireball, and you get this, Dark One's Blessing. Every time you kill something, you will get temporary hit points. And additionally, we're going to be using Armor of Agathis and Hellish Rebuke. So we use Armor of Agathis before a fight. That's one of our spell slots. We use Hellish Rebuke. When we're in the course of fighting, even while we're raging, we can use Hellish Rebuke. The rest of the spells you pick are kind of your flavor, the rest of this build. So you'll see me picking some ones, but like, I could see myself potentially using Hex and using Eldritch Blast in a fight, or using Command, or whatever. So I will go Hex. Additionally, if you want to be the face of the group, which you can be with this build, you could easily go Charm Person. Here, there's an important one, I think, which is Mask of Many Faces and Agonizing Blast. Mask of Many Faces is good because they have so much gear in this game that you have to be a certain race to use. There's a hammer where you have to be a dwarf and you get more damage. There's another one where you need to be Githyanki. And there's helmets that are Githyanki, and there's a bunch of Githyanki stuff. So you can transform yourself to look like a Githyanki. This doesn't cost a spell slot. This is when the build is soft online, right here. I say that because we're going to pick up whatever spell you like. I like Misty Step. So, because we're going Pact of the Blade, read that line. Pact weapons use the wielder's spellcasting ability modifier instead of strength or dexterity. So, we will be able to use any weapon we want in the entire game, and it's going to use our charisma modifier to hit. So we go Pact of the Blade. Very important. We're going to level 5 here for a reason. First of all, you always go level 4 for feet. Now there's two ways you can go here as far as your feet. This is all personal preference, this. Where's my feet? There it is. So, you could go Great Weapon Master. If you took the deal with the Hag, you'd have 18 charisma, and then you use your first ability score modifier. You have 20 charisma right now. You can go Great Weapon Master, which is probably what I would normally do. I would just go Great Weapon Master, because I don't mind the minus to damage. Or, you could go Ability Score Improvement and bump your charisma up to 20. I'm going to take the Great Weapon Master feat. Great Weapon Master lets me lower my chance to hit by a little bit, but I do more damage. Additionally, if I crit or kill, I can do a bonus action, another attack. This build already gets 3 attacks a turn. If they patch it, it'll still get 2 attacks a turn and be awesome. Right here, we get our 3rd attack on Deep and Pack, if you read that. Gain an extra attack with their packed weapon. We get another passive. Now you could either go Fireball here or Counterspell. I believe you can use reactions to cast a spell, but Fireball is always handy, so for this we'll just go this. This is a big damage dealer. Now right here you have a few ways to go. You could go Repelling Blast to knock people off. It's kind of whatever, pick your favorite. If you want to be the face and lie a bunch, this one isn't bad. I wouldn't recommend Beast Speech. Animal handling or animal speaking potions are cheap. I'm going to go Fiendish Vigor. That's what this guy's all about. Have an extra HP. So, let's take a look at the build so far, because this is where you have a choice. You can do whatever you want with these last 2 levels. What I like about this build, he has a lot of HP and a lot of ways to buff himself up. So, we get Pact, Bind, Weapon. We equip our weapon and we can bind it, and now it uses our spellcasting modifier to hit. If we look at our plus to hit, it's plus 8. Let me see if I can unbind it. No. So I need to equip a new weapon. Equip a strength weapon. Okay. Alright, so this is plus 3 to hit right now. If you look, we do 4 to 9 damage, 7 to hit. Now we are proficient. We do 8 to 13 and we have an 11 to hit. We do more damage and more hit chance. Additionally, We can cast Armor of Agathis at level 3 to give ourselves 15 temp HP. Anytime something hits us, they take that damage. We can shapeshift into whatever we want. We get False Life, which I'm not going to do, but it would give us 7 temporary hit points between fights. We have ways to cast spells before we rage. Then we get all the wild magic nonsense when we are raging, which I can't force a rage because of we're not in combat. Let's see. I might show some combat though. Eldritch Blast. If you look, we get 3 projectiles. See? 1, 2, 3 projectiles for Eldritch Blast. Additionally, we have 2 levels left. This is where the build, you can do what you want with it. There's no real wrong answers. If you want to have 4th level spells, you could potentially pick up 4th level spells, which again is going to scale off your spellcasting modifier, will be your save. Since our charisma is so high, our proficiency, yes, our spell save DC is 16. Now we could have bumped that up by bumping up our charisma. We could go 2 levels in Warlock if we wanted. We could go 2 levels in Fighter and get another whole action with Action Surge. We could go 2 more levels in Barbarian, get more hit points. I think they get like Danger Sense or some more rage charges. There's a lot of different ways you could go with this build. But I'm just going to show what happens if you go this way. So right here, this is what we would get if we went magic, if we went further into Barbarian. You get these boons, you get these things. Warlock, you get this, and new spells. But you could potentially do what you wanted to. You could go into Bard. You could go into a couple levels of Paladin. Your charisma's obnoxious. You can do all kinds of stuff with this build. You could go a couple levels of Paladin and Divine Smite. I would do Fighter. Then I'd pick up the fighting style I wanted. Which in this case would probably be Great Weapon Fighting. And there it is. You get Action Surge, the Golden Goose. No, I don't want to be a gnome anymore. I changed my mind. This is free. I can do this anytime I want. So, let's get into a fight.
Takes a fight.
Okay, so, watch this. One attack, first of all, we're going to rage. Just have to find it. Wild Magic Rage, right here. Excellent. So, it infused our weapon. We do an extra 1d6. Everything's light and thrown. So we'll be doing extra damage here. But 1... Do we have a shield on right now? We do. We're not even two-handing it. Huh. 2. Oh, we took it off. Never mind. In the turn, in the turn, in the turn. Come on, Jiro. Okay, so now we're two-handed it. I didn't know I had a shield on. So, what's her AC? 18. Ah, it's because Great Weapon Master's on now. So we can toggle Great Weapon Master right here, and we have a 70% chance. Or we leave Great Weapon Master on, but we'll leave it off for now. 1, 2, 3.
Can't even catch my breath.
Oh. So you saw the 3 attacks, then we would have been able to action surge and keep going. I think you get the idea. It's a good build. For killing her, we got 9 temporary hit points. Out of combat, we can Misty Step with one of our Warlock spells. We get them back on a short rest. We get Second Wind. We get Action Surge. This build has all the things. Really solid build, including 3 Eldritch Blasts, which I'm a big fan of. Alright, thank you for watching.